This house is in an incredible kind of isolated location on Waiheke Island, which is a beautiful island in Auckland Gulf. It's really separated from everything else, but the specifics of the site that I loved was the fact that we had the sea, we had this ridge and bush, and then this creek running through, so those were sort of the main drivers of the design. When we were a few weeks from finishing the house, unfortunately, it was a sort of tradie accident and half the house burnt down. And it happened in such a kind of crazy way. We had this kind of sawdust that was sitting around on the site that caught fire to the garage, and then the electric batteries were in the garage. So once they caught, the whole thing pretty much disappeared. It was a terrible situation for everyone, but when I was looking through it, the project name, the Maori goddess for fire is Mahuika, so sort of was a play on this idea of fire and renewal, and there's a great legend attached to that as well. As anyone that knows that's been to Auckland, there's always 4 seasons in one day, and here we get this amazing drama of where a squall coming through and all of a sudden it goes dark, and you can, and then all of a sudden the sun just bursts out and the whole thing comes alive. So for us, the idea of lighting and light, natural light, was an idea of drama and the experience of living in this environment. The actual road is quite a long way from the house, so you immediately get off the main track and you really are on a goat track of a road. You're immediately immersed in the kind of dense tropical bush of New Zealand. There's amazing bush there. The cantilever was a great example of when part of the client brief is so complicated that you have to come up with very innovative solutions. Our client was very specific about a 20-metre pool, but the site restraints were such that there was really nowhere to put it and have the house. So then I thought, well, actually we could push the pool right up against the bush and then have the main living area just hanging out over the top. So it's a sort of a great 2-for-1 deal. I think Fisher & Paykel were involved with this from day one. The client was really keen to use the product, and we've got a really good relationship with the Fisher & Paykel team. So they gave us a lot of advice about what appliances would work well in this environment. Being on an island a long way from anything, the client's brief is lots of storage. Main priority was really, cold food storage, so they can go to the supermarket once and forget about it for the rest of the time on the holiday. So that drove a lot of the decisions we made. Our client liked a pretty low-key sort of aesthetic, so she was pretty settled on the white, and we kind of just used the F&P products to offset that. So obviously a lot of integrated, but the ovens with the black, for me it was a bit of contrast, but also reflected back the kind of bush or the sea view, depending on when you are looking at it. The bathrooms were lined up on the sort of bush side, really for the privacy. Obviously that's the more private side, and so people won't be looking at it. So, which gave us the opportunity to have them as clear glass, and each one is framed with a view. The bath is, particularly spectacular. It has this kind of wonderful view across the lawn and out to the bush beyond. The bedrooms are spread out over 2 levels, and it's kind of a stratification based on privacy and also guest importance. So the main bedroom's directly above the pavilion, above the kitchen part, and that has beautiful views. And then there's another whole level with the guest bedrooms, so that kind of just gives them privacy from the family, but also an ability to engage when they want to.